Hotel brothers and sisters, Black Power, as always, giving honor to the Creator, giving honor to the ancestors. Chief of Staff, Brother Harris Abdul of the Street Law Soldiers, my sister, my father, my in-laws, and all the brothers and sisters that are fighting for the liberation and salvation of our black nation, as well as my subscribers, my donors, my viewers, and certain people that I'm gonna recognize today. Lynette Williams, Brother Mark Gipp over in the Philippines. As always, Queen and Zinger. Excuse me. And brother who's largely responsible for a lot of the information I'm gonna transfer to you all today, Brother James, way over on the west side and the west coast in Los Angeles. And I also want to give a special prayer and send out a lot of energy to the ancestors for one of my comrades who is right now knocking on death's door. He's in ICU, Brother Calvin McMillan Bay, who is dealing from the information from his queen, an aneurysm or some type of brain tumor of some sort. So we want to send that energy out to Brother McMillan Bay, also affectionately known as Mac. We want to hope that he can make a healthy and strong recovery and come back if it's the will of the Creator and the ancestors. But in the event, we always ask the Creator and the ancestors to embrace all of us, because we never know when our day is coming. But what I want to talk to you about, first of all, is 9-year-old Trinity Love Jones that was found in LA inside of a duffel bag. 9 years old. And this is what I've been telling you all about our babies that are being fucked with and murdered. I cannot put enough emphasis on protecting our babies. Now, how was it that she was missing and then found in a motherfucking duffel bag? How can shit like this take place? Where are the parents? You know, how can these things take place? You know, the parents, where are the parents at? Who's responsible for this? To allow a 9-year-old to become unattended for that long of a period, to have their baby abducted like this. Unless the parents have a hand in this, because it cannot happen like you know, or someone could just pop up and take your baby from you. And think about what she went through to end up in a duffel bag like that. You know, makes no fucking sense. Makes no sense for our babies to be fucked over like this. How can this shit happen? And see, this is the shit I'm telling you all about. That it's time for us to buckle down, hunker down, and lock in with your family and your children. Protect these babies. You know, because it doesn't make sense. How can we continue to be a nation and begin to have strength when we're allowing motherfuckers to take out the next generation before they get a chance to even blossom. And see, I don't give a fuck who it is. The motherfuckers that are responsible for this, because this is what they're saying. They're telling, this is what the white news is telling motherfuckers, that the police have not revealed the two motherfuckers that are in custody. Why not? Why not? Is it because these are motherfucking crackers? And you don't want to start a motherfucking race war? Which is fucking overdue any motherfucking way? Or is it you just wanted to please the public by just picking any two motherfuckers up? And if that's the case, there are two black people. Because that's how it always goes down. And so these babies have to be protected. These babies have to be, they depend on our protection. They depend on our nourishment. They depend on our guidance to enter man and womanhood. It's impossible if we don't embrace them and protect them. And see, a lot of y'all beat these children with belts. You cuss them out in stores because you're frustrated with certain situations. You're fucked up how your life done turned out. So you take it out on the child. I see a lot of you hood rats. Because I'm not ready to say that you're queens yet, because queens don't do shit like that. Only hood rat, mentally deranged motherfuckers do shit like that. Cuss a 2-year-old out, grab them, snatching them by their arms, telling them they just like their father, and all this bullshit. Talking to them any way you want to talk to them. And see, most of the time, when children go through that, that's because nobody fucks with their parent. Because there's a parent that do some shit anyway, talking to a little baby in that form. So, this is a situation, and they're still snatching babies and women, primarily in Washington, D.C. and the surrounding states and counties. The CDC, FEMA, are the major culprits of the abduction of black women on the Eastern Seaboard that are taking these women to these pedophile and sex rings outside of the 90 Snakes. A lot of them are being held hostage and captive in these mountains where these white militia motherfucking ice dogs are brutally raping and beating our black women. And we're not doing nothing about it. We're not doing a motherfucking thing about it. Nothing. Anytime a woman that's blind in one eye with lupus has to drive from Connecticut to Virginia to straighten out some shit, the local motherfucking niggas down there should have squash. But they'll squash each other down there, motherfucker. They don't have no problem doing each other. And that's the shit that makes my blood boil. The black man looks at another black man with so much disdain and dislike. And you sisters do that shit too. Black man, a black person get in line, you talk to them like they trying to buy dope in Walmart. Then the next, when the cracker's behind you, you talk to the cracker like you applying for a goddamn job. And them the ones that their pocketbooks are full of goddamn stolen shit. But the cameras will follow motherfuckers like me and people that look like me all day in these stores. Because you can feel these motherfuckers watching you, hoping that you do something so they can throw you on the floor and hopefully your neck will snap. And we allow this mindset to take place and we're comfortable with this shit. But nevertheless, this baby has to be found. Excuse me, not found, but the motherfuckers that are responsible for this need to be found, apprehended, and executed. That's all I have to say about that. That's the duffel bag the little queen was in. The same with this sister. 29-year-old Nicole McDonald is missing. And the husband, Andre McDonald, who was a major in the Air Force, this punk motherfucker, you know, who was mad because the queen wanted to move on. She was tired of being in the military. Because this nigga, by him being a major, he probably treated his wife like a goddamn soldier. You know, what time, you know, we're going to need to have food on the table. You know, all this old shit. I'll be home at 1700. You know, we're going out to dinner, you know, at 1900 hours. You know, be prompt. You know, that's affirmative. All that type of shit. Because some of these niggas are, the military then fuck some of these niggas up. I've seen it. By me being in the military for a short period, I saw all that shit. And that's why it's no place for a black man or woman. Unless you're purposely going to be the spook who sat by the door to learn all the modern weapons of mass destruction and learn all the elements, learn how to fly all the fighter jets, the bombers, the tanks, the ships. That's why you niggas kill me when y'all talk about that shit about, well, the white man got the army. He got the army and the navy. No. It's just as many black people in the military as it is motherfucking whites. And they outnumber. If the Latinos and the blacks hook up, they fucked in the military. Because that's who makes up 2/3 of the fucking military. Or 7/8. But that's too good to be true. You know. But nevertheless, you know, this sister was abducted and her coward ass motherfucking husband, Andre McDonald, was taken into custody. See, it don't matter who you are. When you fuck with these queens, because she wanted to roll out on your motherfucking ass. But see, you motherfuckers beat up queens. And see, a lot of you claim that you don't hit queens, but a lot of you motherfuckers behind closed doors, you yell at them, you make them feel like shit, lower than dirt, which is damn near worse than putting your hands on them. Because you're crushing them emotionally and mentally. To the point where to the point where you can control them. You don't want a motherfucking wife. You don't want a queen. You want a motherfucking robot.
At 20, I got cancer, and then
you
know how much longer you're gonna live.
So, you know, that's my thing. You know, I hope, Because it appears that your motherfucking ass is guilty because your parents and your wife's parents, you know, they know what type of nigga you are because they're close-knit. And it has to be you. Because you look like that type of motherfucker. Where if you don't have your way, you know, you like to control shit. You know, muscle your motherfucking way, you know, and dominate the queen and all that type of shit. Punk motherfucker. Now, let's go to talk about this motherfucking nigga here. His name is H.K. Egerton. This nigga, give me a second. This nigga says he's a Confederate motherfucking soldier, that he believes that black people should give white people, pay them reparations. That the worst thing that happened to us as a people was when the Emancipation Proclamation was signed. And that black people, now this is a nigga talking. This is a house nigga at the least. You know, you see this motherfucker got on Confederate Civil War bullshit on with a motherfucking Confederate flag. He hangs with whites. He states how the slave master was the slave's best friend. And that's why a lot of blacks were pissed off when they were cut free from slavery. Now, I don't know what motherfucking planet he saw that shit take place in the minds of our ancestors where they were pissed off when they were cut loose. So you mean to tell me that our ancestors wanted to continue to be lynched, raped, fucked, sodomized, lobotomized, have their babies cut out, have their babies cut out their stomachs, and the babies stomped on with boots in front of everybody. Once the baby falls out of the woman's womb, she's hanging upside down. And the toughest, the hardest, toughest slave on the plantation was tied up in front of everybody on the plantation at the end of the day and fucked and raped by 3 or 4 motherfucking crackers. That our ancestors were mad because they didn't have to go through this no longer. The fuck out of here, man. And see, that's what I'm saying. You got some niggas, man, that, you know, it makes no sense what they're doing. You know, it's hard to believe that motherfuckers like that exist, but they do. You know, look at this nigga, man. Standing with these 2 big, greasy, inbred, pot-belly, over-the-hill, overall-wearing, snuff-chewing, tobacco-spitting, funky, skunk-smelling, underarm, white, raw, naked motherfucking Ice Age. And he's holding his motherfucking hands up, this cornbread and ham sandwich eating motherfucking nigga, who is a piece of shit at best. At best, he's a piece of shit. And see, this is symbolic to Steve Harvey, Ray Lewis. You see, because it's dealing with a flag and it's dealing with this so-called shit called patriotism. And I'll explain why, real simple. Why did Ray Lewis and all these other coons, Jim Brown, Steve Harvey and all these other goddamn coons, Stephen A. Smith and them, raise hell about Kaepernick never having no respect for the flag, and it's the same way with this flag. You coons disrespect this flag, but you respect the other flag, which both of them mean the same thing. Both of them symbolize slavery, torture, lynching, and murder of black people, of our ancestors in particular, but right now, our brothers and sisters in the street primarily. So this double standard bullshit, cause see, Ray Lewis will look at this and will get on this nigga when both of them are the same. This the type of shit. And this nigga dresses like this primarily most of the time. He's walking around North Carolina in Confederate military uniform with a Confederate flag. But see, instead of him being one of the motherfuckers that are missing, see, a motherfucker will take a queen out. When this should be the motherfucker found in a duffel bag. I have no problem with you motherfucking Klansmen. None. You want to get away from me? I want to get away from y'all? Cool. Even Marcus Garvey even went to the Klan because of separation. But Garvey told them something different. Garvey, see, a lot of you niggas that hate Garvey and hate Pan-Africanism and hate being an African or being called an African or being called black, you'll denounce Garvey and make up some shit like Garvey was a Klansman. Garvey went to them and told them, I believe in the same thing you believe in. Separation is the only solution. But I'll tell you this. Every time you kill one in the South, we're going to kill one in the North. And see, the Klan wasn't comfortable with that. But they had no choice at the time. UNIA was 6 million strong. 6 million strong. And you had those type of niggas back then. Don't think every ancestor was an ancestor that fought and died in hopes that we would have liberation and salvation and emancipation. A lot of them sold out too. A lot of them. A lot of these motherfuckers sold out. So let's not get it twisted. A lot of them sold out. These piano fiddler, see the fiddler, niggas was playing the violin and all that shit. As you can see, this was a house nigga. Stood on the front porch and his job was to entertain mass at the end of the workday, not for him, but of our ancestors, getting beat to, blood drenching off some of the brothers' backs, being beat, lynched, raped. And this motherfucking devil would sit on the front porch and call for this nigga while he's drinking his motherfucking liquor and whiskey. And this nigga, this jigaboo ass nigga will play that violin till blood dripped off the goddamn violin from his fingers. But it was okay with him. Yeah, man, all I need is some salve and put a little something on here. Sir, I'll be just fine. And it's the same way today. Same motherfucking way today. Now, don't get me wrong. A lot of our brothers had to fight or they were murdered. It was just that simple. And I can understand the mindset that some of them may have. Because in their minds, they were thinking that they had to fight or these motherfuckers, they were going to go into their homes and rape their wives and rape their little daughters and sons and then kill them. So they were forced to do that. But then you had some that took pleasure in that shit. Because don't think that they had the black Confederate soldiers kill the white Union soldiers. No, it was still black on black crime. Still the same way it is today. This thing here, man. This is supposed to be a woman by the name of Tree of Logic. And she is a Trump supporter. She don't believe in reparations. She really despises the black community because all she talks about is the ills that plague the black community, which she says the cracker has no involvement in the results and in the way that the shape that black America is in today. She is the female Clarence Thomas on radio. And she goes by the name of Tree of Logic. She's an ex-cop, which I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck, bitch. You just a motherfucking bed wench that loves a motherfucking white man. I don't give a fuck what your resume look like. But if you fuck with the wrong motherfucker, I don't know what your obituary will look like. You got motherfuckers out here that's riding for real. Everybody just not talking. Because some of you niggas are good at that. All you do is talk about, you talk black power, you talk black liberation. But all you want to do is get paid. All you want to do is look out for your goddamn self. Some of you motherfuckers sit there and you knock all the nigga preachers. But a lot of you on social media, they're supposed to be revolutionaries doing the same motherfucking thing. Putting people on an illusion that you're not going to participate in. You're not going to have any involvement in getting down fighting this motherfucking cracker. None. You sit there and criticize and see, I know the ones who ain't gonna do shit because they spend their time beefing among each other. See, I'm not concerned about what you believe in. None of that. None of that doesn't matter. What matters is that you know who your enemy is and you know what needs to be done. And you're willing to get down. Dr. Khaled always said it's a 5% in everything. You got 85 or 10 in the 5. You got the masses that are asleep. You got the 10% sellouts. And you got the 5% warrior, revolutionary, poor righteous teachers. That's in the church. That's in the mosque. That's in the temple. That's anywhere you look. So, it doesn't matter what your religious concepts or your ideologies or your train of thought is. Because there's no way you can say that this cracker is not your enemy. I've never had no good relationship with none of them motherfuckers. None of them. None of them. All my interactions with white motherfuckers have been negative. Either a gun put to my head by one of them, being jumped by motherfucking crackers in prison, guards, that is, being put down, being told no, we're not hiring, being arrested, being watched every motherfucking day. So I don't have no good experiences, and I'm not searching for any. And don't want no motherfucking good experience. Because they don't consist of them. If you look at the history of this goddamn cracker, everywhere he stepped on the planet, he created havoc, murder, and mayhem. Everywhere. So, for you niggas, you cracker loving niggas who love this Ice Age. And see, and that's the only beef I got with them nigga preachers, is they continue to talk about turning the other cheek and not fighting. Stop telling people not to fight. Just because you're not going to fight. Stop telling our young motherfuckers not to fight. And that's why they're not in the church. That's why the church is primarily most of them are full of old people. Because y'all run them away. You don't want to allow the fresh blood to filter through to put the black church on a new motherfucking path. On a warrior path. Because Jesus was a warrior if you read the scriptures. He wasn't no milk and toast motherfucker that got smacked around. When he was taken up or hung or whatever on the cross, it took the Roman army. It wasn't no one motherfucker. He just didn't walk up there and say, forgive them, they don't know what they're doing. He fought tooth and nail. Just like he did in the temples when he told them to stop selling pussy, stop selling wine and dope and all that shit, opium and frankincense in the temples. He came in there with a sword and a whip. You think he missed? You think he missed everybody when he swung? Come on. And this is what's not being taught to our youth. So they can make their connection with Jesus and the Asar, Set, and Heru. You know, and Muhammad and all other religions. No, what we want to do here around here is we gotta pray now. We